Hello, thanks for hopping on this quick video with me. I appreciate it. I figured this would be a good opportunity to show you a little as opposed to just telling you. So I wanted to walk you through a little bit of a quick tech demo here, as well as show you a little bit of what I'm doing. So first, I wanted to bring your attention. So I got a couple things here planned out to show you guys. But so this is an HTML file. So this is, I find there's a lot of confusion around how these actually work. But so this HTML is just pure code. So when I open it up, I'm actually going to have it open up in Google Chrome, but Google Chrome is just rendering it. So it's just a bunch of code. So if we go in here and we go view page source, you can see the code itself. So all it is code. This is the actual code itself saved on my desktop. And then you can render it through something like Google Chrome, so it looks nice and pretty and great for like a client presentation. But all of this lives internally on my desktop, so there's no real opportunity for any data leaks or compliance issues from that standpoint. So just kind of a cool concept there. I did use AI to generate this little presentation here, just to kind of show you what it can do. It's like, again, if we go back into view sources, like the cool thing, like this file is self-contained, it works, you don't have to be connected to the internet. You can see that it's using like our Google fonts per our Alchemy brand guide. So I can create a presentation like this in just a matter of, it's really seconds, but let's call it minutes, because I have so much built into our system already. So pretty cool stuff. But like I said, we got a two-person firm. Just want to run you through some of the highlights. We're servicing 218 clients, and really what I want to focus on in this is what we've been able to build. I think this will take a little bit over 3 minutes, but hopefully if you listen to it at 2x, we can get you back down to 3 minutes. We really are building our own AI tools, and what I think is cool about this is we're not putting our client data into these public chat boxes. So what I find is what typically happens in the industry is one of two things. People are just putting information into the chat boxes and using like the ChatGPTs and the Claudes, and they're using that as their AI. Or I guess there's three things. Or they're buying AI, which is great and can be useful. Or they're putting information into a chat bot, but they're redacting all of client information before they put it in. So they're trying to build a financial plan, they redact a bunch of information, put it into the chat bot, get this information back that's all redacted, and then re-put their client information back into it, which is just an incredible, I don't know if it's the most efficient use of time. So what we're doing is something different. We're using AI to build the internal tools and systems themselves. So we've already saved 400 plus hours. Again, we're managing over 200 clients with just our two-person team. We went from 1.5 administrative full-time employee equivalents down to 0 back in Q2 of 2025. And we're taking tasks that used to take us days literally down to minutes. So I want to walk you through this EOS dashboard, two quick demos, this EOS dashboard in a presentation builder. So let's we'll just get each of these opened up now. So first, this is a Google Sheet. So one of the important things is we are like building this tool, for example, in Google Sheets. So Google already houses, we're a Google company, so we're using Gmail for our email provider, and we're using Google Documents to store our client documents and all of that stuff. So Google already is in some way a data vulnerability, right? But we don't want to add more vendors to our tech stack. We don't want to open up more potential doors or windows, right? So this is just a demo. I redacted all client information for the purpose of this demo. So if you come in and you look at like our client roster, it's just, sample client. And if you look at if you look at our pipeline, you're going to see we just have a bunch of sample prospects. But the cool thing is we're able to go in here, we're able to go into AppScript, build an app out of the Google basically interface already. You can see this is the app itself. This is all the coding for the app. So this is what we're using AI for. You've probably heard all of these AI or all of these companies laying off programmers, and one of the reasons they're able to do so is because you can really leverage. One of the best ways to leverage AI, in my opinion, is through helping build code. And so we're able to build the code. Here's the HTML code. So we're able to build all this code out more efficiently. As a mechanical engineer, I've I've taken courses in coding, but to build this level would take, it would have been time prohibitive. So now we're able to build these apps out inside of something like Google Sheets and produce something like this. So this is what we call our EOS dashboard. Here at Alchemy, we run EOS, so we can see our vision traction, right? We can see our L10 meeting. We can import data. So the important thing here is to maintain this, it requires uploading 4 reports. So now we upload 4 reports into this, and it goes back feeds into this big Excel spreadsheet. And so everything's done automatically behind the scenes and through Google. So I'm not putting client data into the chat box, into like Claude or into ChatGPT. We're building an independent app that we use that's housed on our devices and through Google that now we can run. So it's reducing the from a compliance standpoint, it's protecting and putting our clients' data at the forefront. And so now we can build this out exactly however we want. So you can see we got 2035 goal, 2030 goal, 2028 goal. How are we on track of these? You know, our current AUM, our progress towards our goal, our pace, you know, Ryan's progress, Grant's progress. These are our quarterly rocks. We can dive in and see, hey, how are we doing on these? Are we on track? Are we not on track? Our scorecard, how are we doing? How are we trending? Our prospecting pipeline, what do we got in the pipeline? What do we think, when do we think assets are going to come in over time? How, you know, where are they at in the onboarding process? Our current household by book. Just throw in some errors because I threw in sample names in here, or, you know, fake names. But you can see like how our book is broken out. What percentage of like our gold clients we've done our fiscal physicals for, that's our equivalent of our annual review. How our assets have grown over time. You can dive in deeper and see, you know, how are we doing this year towards our goal? We're doing good. We've hit our goal 4 out of 5 months. You know, how are we doing like this month? We have 1.4 million in so far, 0 million out. Or that's last month, I suppose. But you can see all this data simply by uploading 4 reports. So the nice thing is there's no human error. It takes us less than a minute to update. It's incredibly fast, simple, painless. And this is all of our client data is 100% protected because this is a app that we've built externally. So again, we're not using just these ChatGPT or Claude interfaces to put client information into. We're building out our own tech that solves our needs. And so this is like this, you know, we used to use EOS 1. This, now we don't need it EOS 1. But also this does way more than EOS 1 does. And this would cost I have a buddy in a mastermind group. He's trying to build out something similar to this. And I think he's over $10,000 in with a developer trying to build this. And I'll be, between you and I don't think it's quite as polished. So that's one great example. So this is our EOS dashboard. So we're building it through Google Apps Scripts. It's built in-house. It runs inside the same Google environment that already holds all of our data, so there's no new vendor. Now, also a presentation builder. So we also build out these presentations. I'm going to, this is a demo client, Clark Kent in Lois Lane, and this is a report, retirement report printed off from them from our planning software. So once we build their financial plan in our planning software, we can now use this tool that we built, drop their report into this, and it's going to go strip out all of this data. And then all we have to do is go present. And now we got ourselves a presentation for, you know, Clark Kent and Lois Lane in this example. So you can see Clark Kent, Lois Lane, we said that this was a hypothetical demo. We can go through, it automatically pulled in and pulled out all these images from the report. So you can see, we can talk to them about Roth conversions. We can talk to them about their investments. This is their current allocation. Maybe this is where we want them to be, right? You can talk to them about Social Security timing. But the cool thing is here is maybe we figure out, oh, actually, it's not Clark Kent and Lois Lane. They just got married. It's Clark and Lois Kent now, right? And maybe it's not a hypothetical demo. So again, if we were to push it through, Clark and Lois Kent, still a hypothetical demo. We could come back here and say, no, it's not a hypothetical demo. Present this, Clark Kent, Lois Lane. Now it's not a hypothetical demo in theory, right? We can change whatever we want here. Maybe we're not going to present to them until August, but it should be, we want to put maybe Lois's name first. So now we have Lois's name first, and it's August. So you can see how fast and easy it is to build out these presentations that used to take a substantial amount of time. And again, it's pulling these reports directly off of our planning software report. So it saves us an incredible amount of time and energy. The important thing is we're not taking these reports, this client data, and dropping it into a LLM. We're building independent apps that live on our servers, that then we can run this and protect our client data. And we're building it to our specs, what we want. So you can see a quick one-page review, figure out where we're at. We can load data from last year. We can save this as a PDF. We could go through here. You can see each of the reports I pulled out. We can modify this. And again, since we're building this, I can modify this however I want. If we want to change what we're looking at for Social Security, great. We can change that report, no problem at all. So that hopefully gives you a little bit of an idea of sort of what we're building out, and how we're doing it differently than how most firms are interacting with AI. And again, so like this page that we're looking at now, this is a static HTML, right? So it's hard coded in. So everything is loaded in the HTML. I could be offline. I don't even need to be connected to the internet, and I can pull this page up, which is pretty cool. So the other piece, so that's our AI and how we're doing things differently. One of the beautiful things about that AI is it allows us the time to basically focus on our clients. And a big piece of what we want to focus on is education. So, I have this book, Your Fiscal Physical, and it's #1 bestseller in microeconomics in November of 2023 on Amazon. So that was pretty special. We also put out the Fiscal Physical Retirement podcast. We've been doing this for a few years now, 131 episodes deep we are at this time. That comes out every week, again, for free. We have newsletters for anybody who wants to subscribe. We have blogs going. This blog is something we just started. Part of all the time we freed up from this has allowed us to now start publishing educational blogs, which is super exciting. So yeah, none of this, it's all free. There's no sales funnel. It's just free education for our clients, which is pretty fun. So a little bit about me real quick. I'm the owner and chief financial planner of Alchemy Wealth Management. I founded Alchemy about 5 years ago. I'm a mechanical engineer by education. That's how I sort of learned how to code. In practice, when I went into engineering, I was a process and lean engineer. So we focused on systems. So I have sort of a unique background in systems and engineering. And then I went and got my MBA before going into finance. But now I have, I'm coming up on a decade of experience in the financial services industry as well. And so it puts me in a unique position where I can sort of use AI to build the tools from the ground up, protecting I think client data security is one of the most important things. And I see so many firms some firms are really scared of AI, not using it at all. Some firms are using it, but just not caring about client security, just dropping in client information. Then other firms are using it just as a glorified Google, right? They're just searching things like, hey, how much is a raw, how much, what's the tax brackets this year, or whatever. They're just using it as a Google on steroids. But I think really the use case for AI is to be able to build the tools that you need for your firm to be able to better serve your clients in the way you want to serve your clients. So again, and I'll show you, like in this marketing, do I have it here? Yeah, like I have a little bit of a little marketing dashboard here. So you can see like we have our newsletter. It's saying, hey, we're ready to send a new newsletter. It's got some ideas for us. We got our blog. We got 5 candidates. It's recommending a next blog topic for us. We did a quick podcast audit here. We got 9 in the pipeline, 4 are already recorded, 5 are planned to be recorded. You can see more data here. Like our last newsletter that we sent was 22 days ago. Again, we're due for a new one. And it was about Social Security's new report, and it actually only got a 15.45% open rate compared to our baseline of 60 to 74%. So there's a lot of actionable takeaways here. We published our last blog 4 days ago. That was the topic. We got one drafted right now. We started yesterday, and that's getting ready to go live. Podcast, you can see sort of how our pipeline's looking. So this is all able to be generated through, like this dashboard is built through AI and allows us to automate the steps that technology is amazing at while keeping the human in the loop, and let the humans do what the humans are good at, and let the technology do what the technology is good at, I believe. So things like this recording, this is like the equivalent of me meeting with my clients and having one-to-one conversations with them, and that's so incredibly valuable. And it's because of our use of AI that frees up more of my time to be able to do this for our clients. So anyways, Ryan Nelson, Alchemy Wealth Management, thanks for bearing with me here. We blew past this 3-minute. Even you're going to have to listen to this at 5x to get this down to 3 minutes. So I apologize, but I appreciate you taking your time to bear with me here, and I hope these tech demos were helpful, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.